Hello again, and this is Marky Mark. Um, this will be, I'm not sure which part it is in my Ultimate Beginner's Guide. I stopped labeling them by parts, and I'm now labeling them by, I guess, quests, especially since Act 2. Well, I got 4 quests going right now. But yeah, this is the character I've been playing on, level 18 Sorceress Electra. Um, Pretty basic gear. I did swap out this helmet for this helmet, which is totally doable if you have the cube and get enough chip gems. That diamond and the shield, and Dario did drop that. I got lucky. I did kind of cheat a perfect sapphire into the shield for extra cold resistance. I also found these really great boots in Act 1 with lots of fire resistance. I've got really good rare rings. The belt's all right. The gloves, they're all right. Basically, just kind of put some cast rate for the sorceress and resistances. Every character is different, but for a sorceress, that should do the job. Um, the weapon, I just put some Terror runes and a smoke sphere that has 2 de Nova, and a Terror rune and the studded leather that just happened to have a socket. On swap, I've got a 2 de Frozen armor staff. Um, Character points, just strength to wear the gear and vitality. Did not put any into energy, but like I said, you can if you want. Um, yeah, so basically, at this point, Rand of the Warlock has been out for long enough that you've probably made it past this part in the game. But hopefully, you've made it to Nightmare or Hell mode and realized that, hey, you play through the exact same game again in Nightmare and Hell mode. Um, but yeah, so maybe your first go around in normal difficulty, maybe you didn't know how to navigate. You just kind of accidentally solved some of the quests or whatever. Who knows? But this video is for informational purposes. It's kind of like a tutorial. So the last video was the Herodic Staff and the Tainted Sun. Um, I gave some recommendations regarding the Tainted Sun quest in another one of the videos, making sure that you talk to the appropriate townsfolk, so that way, you know, the guy in front of the palace will let you in. Forget his name. Why do I forget his name? Jaren? I think it's Jaren. Um, but the Herodic Staff, we have restored the Herodic Staff in the cube. Now we need to go to the Arcane Sanctuary and find Horizon's journal, because Horizon's journal will tell you which tomb is the real tomb out of the 7 tombs. And along the way, we'll kill the summoner because he's kind of guarding Horizon's journal. So the good news is that I already made it to the Arcane Sanctuary by going through the palace, because that's step 1 of this quest, to go through the palace. And I already know which path to go on the Arcane to find the summoner, because I'm a sorceress. I just teleported through to figure it out. So these parts of the video won't be too long, and then once we get in the actual tomb, it'll be a matter of navigating the correct Tel Rasha's tomb. I got plenty of mana potions. I got some rejuvies. So yeah, I'm just going to walk you through the palace, give you a rundown of the navigation of the palace, which I'm sure you've probably been through here if you've had this game since release. But maybe I'll just give some quick tips. I like to go in down here, and it'll bring you in this left corner. And then, yeah, I go down through here. I'm going to need some experience, I guess, for the fight against the boss. Yeah, so I'll just teleport. Go down through there, go down through there, go down through there, and there's Palace Cellar level 1. And the navigation is similar if you go to an opposite corner. Basically, the corners are kind of connected in opposite directions in some sort of way. mean, the monsters are not hard at all. And then here is the waypoint, always the same location. And then if we come down between here, oh, those guys might be a little bit tough. Let's just spam Nova, I guess, and then lightning him. Seems to be pretty effective. And my mercenary has prayer aura, which is kind of nice to heal me. And yeah, there's level 2. And then, alright, well, let's give it a, well, we'll kill that guy. If lightning will do enough damage, it does 1 to some amount. And yeah, we'll just teleport through here. Oh, let's kill these guys. I need some charge bolts. Oh, a turret. Those are good at the beginning of the game. And here's level 3. Put my frozen armor back on. I would recommend getting above 20 before clearing Act 2, just because the final boss in Act 2 is actually kind of tough. Yeah, so I guess I'll go in here. No monsters, but there's always some kind of group of guys here somewhere. If he's not in this room, and he's not in this room, they're usually up here, I think. I don't... There, I saw a minion. There he is. Fire Eye or something like that. Let's just spam some charge bolts. Yeah, the Nova's good for the little weak guys, but, you know, these charge bolts, I think, can get multiple hits on the same monster if they're a large size. Like, especially if you stand next to them. And I did put points on the charge bolts. Charge bolt. Alright, let's put some potions on the belt. And yeah, so then I just killed those guys for the experience, but maybe you don't want to fight them. I go in here, you touch this, the portal lights up, you go in, and then you're in the Arcane Sanctuary. Make sure you don't forget, because I did before I shot the video, to grab the waypoint. I had to go all the way back around. Very important waypoint. And I teleported up that way, and I was out the right way, and then I teleported up this way, and yeah, this is the way we want to go. I didn't kill too many of the monsters. Lightning is pretty good right here because it shoots in a straight line. There are lots of other skills that also shoot in a straight line that are good for situations like this. My druid, I was just talking about Molten Boulder, how it shoots in a straight line. Really good for, you know, the Far Oasis Maggot Lair. Lots of really narrow hallways. That's not doing very good. Let's just shoot lightning. We'll use some Nova maybe. And then shoot that guy with lightning. I don't know. Lightning sorceresses are probably one of the strongest characters as far as damage output goes, I think. I don't know. I never really actually made it very far with the lightning sorceress. I did it offline, and I don't think I ever made it past Nightmare. I just kind of got bored with it. Maybe this one I'll try to do the skills a little bit differently. I know that typically you either do Nova only, or you do Charge Bolt, or not Charge Bolt, but Chain Lightning and Lightning are the two, I think. But maybe I'll do like a hybrid and do both. I will say that since I'm playing on Nintendo Switch, that the maximum number of players, which I keep stating in some of my videos, is 4. And the monster health and damage is based off the number of players in your game. And obviously, if you're soloing, you don't need really good gear because the monsters are weaker. And if you are playing with, you know, 1, 2, 3 other people, still not super difficult as it could be in an 8-player game. So why not, you know, take advantage of that by, you know, maybe doing my skills a little bit differently. Which, fun fact, I just shot a video showing an elemental druid right before I shot this video, or I'm shooting this video. that shows an elemental druid not only just doing fire skills or wind skills, but doing both. And yeah, that's my current project I'm experimenting on. I just made it to Act 5 in Nightmare, and we're going to see how difficult it goes for that character. I'm excited about it. But for right now, we're just going to blast the summoner, go in here. Whoops, not there. We got to touch Horizon's Journal. And let's get a quest update. Quest completed. So this says return to town for more information. But if you see, it already gives you the true symbol. So yeah, you don't really have to go back to town and talk to people for this particular quest. But after you clear the last quest, you will need to talk to people to go to the next act. So that's kind of optional. Whoops. Let's go in the portal. Make sure we grab the waypoint again. That's very important. I don't know how many times I've done this. Have to go all the way through the Arcane to find the waypoint. So let's see. What was the symbol? Half circle. I believe that's on this side somewhere. Just because I've been doing the tombs recently. And yeah, so the tombs are always in the same locations. I can never remember which one is where exactly. I will say that the one all the way north up here is always the little sun-shaped icon. It's a little circle that looks like a little bit of sun rays or stars going around it. And yeah, I have no idea how I'm going to kill this boss. He's going to be tough. I probably should have got a few more levels. Yeah, so this one is always the one up here. It's the little tiny dot in the middle with the sun things going around it. Looks like a star or a sun almost. And other than that, I always forget which ones are where because all the other symbols are kind of basic geometric shapes. There's a square, but I just remember the curve was on this side. I think. Yep, there it is. And then down here, I don't know, in case you can remember all this, I always forget. Circle. Now, I will say there's also a circle with a little curve that looks like this under it or above it. And that one must be on the other side. All right, let's see how long it takes to go through here. Question, did I get a level up soon? I think I did. Yeah, so what do I want to put my point into? Well, I could get chain lightning. Wait. Oh yeah, I could have got that last level. Well, in order to get thunderstorm, I have to get chain lightning. And in order to get energy shield, I have to get chain lightning. So yeah, I guess I'll get chain lightning. Now I need another button. I guess we'll just do lightning and chain lightning on X button. One without holding down X and the other one with holding down X. And when we static field, I like to do hold down L, press B for static field. For some reason, that's what it usually ended up as. That's always what I try to do when I want to use it. I don't remember. I haven't played in this character in a while, so very easy to forget where my button bindings are. You know, if I switch characters and I don't try and keep a system and use them the same somewhat on different characters. Oh, this guy's taking all kinds of hits. Alright, I like to go down and to the left when I come in this tomb to find the boss. Hopefully that works out. Not really sure exactly the best advice for navigating this place. It is typically the biggest tomb out of all of them, or one of the biggest tombs. I think I kind of want to go this way, maybe. I think that's a dead end. I think I'm going to skip that. I could teleport, but I kind of want to kill the monsters. Maybe I'll get one more level before the boss. Well, let's check the quest log. Okay, so it still doesn't say the name of the boss, but you probably know by now. It's Bale. Or not Bale, sorry. Just joking. It's actually Duriel. Yeah, chain lightning was a good addition to this place. There's just so many of these skeletons running around. Chain lightning is a bit slow. Oh, this is a dead end. Okay. I will say that lightning does a bit more damage than chain lightning typically. What is that? Wonder Race Skeleton Mage. It's Sapphire. Maybe grab a couple extra good healing potions. So I'm pretty sure that way is a dead end, I think. Actually, let's just go through this wall and not get... Hopefully we won't get killed. Oops. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, that's amazing for this video. Found it. I think I've had that happen before once or twice. That was awesome. That wasn't even on my map completely. That was legit. Yeah, look, my map's on. I haven't been this way. My map's not covered, or my map's not showing. That was kind of cool, and a little bit wild too. All right, so now I just gotta not die at the boss, and maybe that means the video is actually kind of cool. I don't know. Oh well, we'll probably die. Well, maybe not die, but even if I don't die, that mercenary is probably gonna die. So I don't know. What do you think? Should I grab some full rejuvenation potions to fight him with? Because you can make full rejuvenation potions in the cube. You take 3 rejuvenation potions, the little ones, and you can transmute them to make a big one. Maybe I'll just make one big one and try to use the one big one as good as I can. And actually 2 rows of mana potion seems pretty good too. We're gonna go through a lot of mana. Alright, that's what we got. And alright, oh, let's just identify that. Oh, we'll keep that on. That's 20 to life. Yeah, we'll use that for this fight. And then yeah, I could probably get rid of this, but I don't want to make another one. I might use it for another character. Alright, we'll put it here. Alright, here we go. First things first. I would not recommend putting, well, at least in normal difficulty, I would not recommend putting a portal up inside the chamber. I feel like that's just worse, because as soon as you go in the portal, you're just going to die. So if you put a portal up like in this room, it might take several tries, and you would probably want to move your gold to your shared stash so you don't lose it all. But at least if you go in here, you might have a chance to run and grab your body. I think that's probably a better idea. Unless you're a sorceress and you can teleport, then you might stand a better chance. And unless your mercenary survives longer than 3 seconds, hard to tell really. Yeah, but I've done it enough times I might get lucky. I think I might die though. The merc is probably gonna die. All right, hopefully as soon as I walk in here, I get good load time. I think we're just gonna lightning them. All right, merc's doing pretty good. Real good actually. I'll use use a little rejuvie, little rejuvie, little rejuvie, big rejuvie. Oh, he died. Oh boy. Yeah, this isn't gonna go well. Yeah, so what's the best strategy now? Hard to tell. He's just gonna chase me. Guess I can run for a while. Oh, static field. I forgot to use static field. Oh, I have 200 life, which is pretty good. Yeah, I can take a few hits. All right, I half-lifed him. I am going to go back to town. I would not recommend doing this. I don't know. Honestly, this is the hardest boss in normal difficulty. I would say so. Like, it's just hard depending on what your character is. I would say that the Necromancer and the Druid have an easier time because you can just keep summoning wolves and skeletons. Well, you can't really summon skeletons once they die. You can summon your golem once your golem dies. Um, you can just keep resummoning your golem if you got enough mana. And the wolves, you can keep resummoning wolves if you're a druid. But yeah, at this point, this is it. Doesn't matter. Like, this is just a hard fight. That's just all there is to it. So really, honestly, the best strategy. Well, now that Reign of the Warlock allows you to have lots of storage space for your potions. Yeah, that's probably the new strategy for this boss in normal difficulty is just using rejuvenation potions and just healing your mercenary, and hopefully you kill the boss fast enough. Sorceress does have static field. Problem with static field is you have to get really close. But you know, once you get the boss down to like half life, or well, actually a third life, I think. And all right, let's make sure we don't mess this up. All right, as soon as I get in there, I'm gonna teleport away. Teleport, 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 teleport. All right, lightning. Heal. 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 I think I could have staticked him more. This is annoying. I'm dead. He's stunning me. Yeah, this is like super difficult for a sorceress. Solo, I say this is got to be the hardest boss solo for the sorceress. And normal difficulty, anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe some of you still haven't made it past this boss, or you had to get in a party, or you had the right character. I have no idea. But yeah, this is as hard as it gets, really. Um, and Dario obviously was really easy. All right, third time's a charm. And like I said, I probably should have. I probably should have static fielded more, because I think you can actually get it down to a third life in normal. Maybe not a boss. Maybe not a boss. I'm not really sure on that. Um, Also, a plated belt. Well, oh wait. If you well, I guess you could just find a plated belt somehow from somebody or somewhere. It has 4 rows of potions. That's also a good way to help with this fight. Um, but yeah, I don't mind taking the extra time for this video since I magically teleported to the right room where the boss was. And I kind of prepped the Arcane to know which way to go. So this time should do it, though. Enough jibber jabber. We're going to get in there and kill him this time. All right. I don't want to get close and use Charge Ball. You just got to use Lightning, I guess. Maybe I should have put more points into Lightning. Who knows? All right, here we go. Yeah, hit me instead. And then hit him a little bit. All right, there we go. Ugh. Breastplate. Already got that on the Chronicle. I do want this spike shield and this amulet and this chip diamond. All right, time to wrap up. So 3 trips in the chamber. Like I said, it's super risky throwing up a portal in there if you can't teleport. But like I said, just depending on your character, I will say that for an Amazon, Plague Javelin's really good against Uriel. That's usually how I kill Duriel on Amazon, is with Plague Javelin. Or just using lots of rejuvies, like I said. Rejuvies get the job done too. I usually use 4 rejuvies because that's more rejuvenating power. But just in case you ain't got 4 rejuvies. Yeah, 3 trips in the chamber with little rejuvies, and I had 1 big rejuvie. So, but if you make some big rejuvies, that might help a lot. And then you just wait till just the right moment to heal your mercenary follower. All right. So that'll lead us into Act 3. And yeah, so for when I shoot the videos for Act 3, I'm basically just going to split it into 2 parts. First half, second half. Mainly because the first half is you're stuck in a jungle and it's a random map. So yeah, you could get a waypoint and then go back in a different game and still get lost in the jungle. So I always like to knock out the first half in one sitting whenever I do it. That's my recommendation for that. All right, but I hope you liked the video. Just cleared all 3 of those quests. And like I said, this is Marky Mark, and this has been the second half of Act 2 for the Ultimate Beginner's Guide. Thanks for watching.